Alright, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I got my oil pan underneath the Sidewinder. We're working on her. And I'm getting ready to drain the oil out. I'm going to do a 1-year review on this Barna parts gasket. Hoping my camera will pick it up. You can see around all the bolts, the gasket is split. Now, I want to explain something before I get this video going. This video is not out to knock Travis or any of his his oil tank seal for this Sidewinder. I had a great year with it. It didn't leak on me. It did the job it was supposed to do. I put it on correctly. I have the rollover valve bypass on this sled because I know they make a lot of pressure and they will blow those gaskets. So it did work as it was advertised, and it didn't leak on me or anything like that. But I know there's a lot of stuff on the Facebook that I see in the groups and stuff, so I'm actually going to be taking it off and going back to Yamaha just because I don't really like the way it's looking. I mean, there's no telling if it's doing that on the inside or not, so we're going to take it apart. Okay, and if it's good on the inside, then it's a good product. So I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil out, which is self-explanatory. There's an Allen down there on the pan. We'll get that out. I got to finish getting the exhaust off and stuff, and then we'll crack open the oil reservoir and we'll see what we got. As you can see, I got the stock muffler on, so a little trick I did. I have a 3-inch sandal, but I use vice grips, you'll see, and I'll lock them on that bolt in there you can't get to, and that usually cracks it loose. Now, I did have these out many a times, and I do have anti-seize on them. Just a little trick, because that Torx is real hard to get to. Now that I got the muffler pulled off this thing, I'll pull this lower hose off here for the oil, and I'm going to let that drain, and then we're going to go ahead and start moving all this stuff back. I have it all zip tied up and stuff. I did want to point out the reason I was running stock muffler, that's never been on the sled since the day I bought it brand new. I did have an O2 welded in it too, because I'm running closed loop tuning. I'll show you guys right here. I had somebody weld a bung in there. I went over to Canada riding last year, and they can be kind of strict on the exhaust, so I just put the stock on it, put a stock 270 flash in it, stock muffler. She ran good, real good for what it was. Not like the big 3-inch pipe though. So next thing's obviously I'll let this drain out, get the oil filter off, and we'll see what we got. We'll pull this lower oil line clamp off. I always do this every year. And we'll let the rest of that oil come out of there. Be amazed how much usually comes out. There you go. So you got to make sure you pull that off. I'm going to pull the upper line off so we can get this case all separated. There we go. I'll just let that hang, and once that's done draining, we'll pull the case off. I should also mention I'll unplug the harnesses here, your speed sensor and your IQS, get them out of the way. Then I can flip the harness up out of my way. Just push them in, they unclip. Real simple. I do have this stuff all zip tied. I'll re-zip tie it all back together real nice when I get done doing this. I do this every year, guys. I always check my stuff, especially when you're driving and spending all that time driving and money going to the UP. So I'll undo my reverse actuator plug. I'll cut this other zip tie off if you're able to see. This all cut off. And I'll plug, or actually this is the reverse actuator. The other one might be the, what the hell is the other one go to? Oh, I think the miles. Push this clip in. She'll come out. I might have to mess with it off camera. Use a flathead to push it in. Now you guys can see what I'm saying. I'll just take this up and move it out of the way. I do have it zip tied tomorrow, V-bypass. And I have this hanging down here inside. I undid that zip tie. I'll let you know what size Allens these are that hold the oil tank on. Probably just cut all the zip ties and I'll just take my whole ROV bypass right off so I don't have to mess with this. Another thing I did want to mention in this video, I have a 21 tooth DMC gear in it. We're going to go to a 22 tooth this season. Your oil reservoir bolts are T30s. I like these 1/4 inch Pittsburghs from Harbor Freight. Been using them a long time. They fit in there because they're nice and small. Put an extension on them. Now with the Barna Parts gasket last year, I think these are only torqued to like 7 foot-pounds, or I can't remember off the top of my head, with blue Loctite. So if you do the BOP gasket, make sure you do Travis's instructions about the proper torques, or else you will screw the gasket up. Alright guys, let's see what we have together here. I believe I got all the bolts out. Sure do. We'll pop the oil seal off, and we'll see how the Barna Parts gasket did. Boy, there's a lot of sludge in here and there shouldn't be. Change my oil every year, but... So there you have it. Get a close look up at it for you guys. It did its job. It didn't break. The inside actually looks really good. So this is just from oil running off when I pulled the seal, but... So there you have it, guys. Yes, the BOP gasket does work, and it probably would have held up just fine. Alright, so there we have it. The BOP gasket did what I paid for it to do. It didn't fail. Here's the gasket. Like I said, it did rip around all the ears, probably just from the heat. But you could rerun this gasket if you wanted to. I'm going to go back to Yamaha. So I think I was going to make this like a 2-piece video and do my 22 tooth DMC gear in here. I'm just going to go ahead and get this all cleaned out and everything, and then I'm going to shoot you guys a separate video putting the 22 tooth in. So if you watch this video and you want to know how to get into the chain case, well, stay tuned for the next video. I'll show you how to do that, and I'll show you what I did to the chain case in years past to make it real strong. So I want to just say thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.